The evening shadows were deepening on Highway 66. A large red truck, labeled Scarlet Express, was making its way to its destination. Behind the wheel was Casey Jones, a determined woman who had been hauling cargo across states for years. Accompanying her were her two loyal military K9s, Tyson and Red. During her military career, Casey had faced numerous dangerous situations. Her K9 partners were trained to sense threats before they emerged. Today, she was just an ordinary truck driver, but danger had a way of finding its own path. As she reached a deserted stretch of the highway, four motorcycles appeared in her rearview mirror. A gang of bikers began to encircle her truck, honking their horns and making crude gestures. Suddenly, Casey noticed a lone figure standing on the roadside, signaling something urgently. But she couldn't decipher what he was trying to warn her about. One of the bikers, seemingly their leader, pulled up beside Casey's truck and shouted, "This ain't a woman's job, lady. Trucking is for real men. You better go home and play housewife." Casey took a deep breath. She knew these men were up to no good. Tightening her grip on the wheel, she stayed composed. "Please, move aside. I'm just doing my job," she said firmly. The bikers laughed, exchanging glances before one of them revved his bike dangerously close to her truck, trying to force her to stop. This was the moment Casey decided to activate her secret weapon, her military-trained K9s. Pressing a hidden button, the back compartment of her truck opened suddenly. In a flash, Tyson and Red leaped out, their eyes burning with combat readiness. One of the bikers, a burly man with a scar across his cheek, barely had time to react before Tyson lunged at him. The powerful K9 knocked him off his motorcycle, sending him crashing onto the pavement. Another biker swung a chain at Red, but the agile dog dodged effortlessly and sank his teeth into the man's arm, making him scream in pain. The gang leader tried to pull out a knife, but Casey was ready. She swerved the truck slightly, causing the bikers to lose balance. Tyson pounced again, tackling another biker to the ground. Realizing they were outmatched, the remaining bikers scrambled to get away. The leader cursed under his breath, vowing revenge as he sped off with the few men left standing. Casey exhaled, stroking her dogs' heads. "Good job, boys." After sending the bikers packing, Casey stopped at a gas station to check her truck. That's when she noticed a black SUV following her for a while. Checking her side mirror, she saw two men inside, both looking serious and suspicious. The SUV suddenly picked up speed, pulling alongside her truck. One of the men rolled down his window and shouted, "You have no idea who you messed with. Those bikers weren't just a random gang, they belonged to something much bigger. You've made the wrong enemies." Casey's instincts flared. She quickly signaled her K9s to be on high alert. Then, one of the men inside the SUV pulled out a gun. Casey ducked, barking out a command. Without hesitation, Red lunged toward the SUV, landing on the door with a powerful strike that shook the vehicle. Tyson darted forward and launched himself at the driver's side, forcing the SUV to swerve wildly. Losing control, the SUV skidded off the road, flipping into a ditch. Casey smirked. Never underestimate military K9s. Just as Casey thought it was over, the distant roar of motorcycle engines filled the night. The bikers were back, this time, with reinforcements. Casey immediately locked her truck doors and prepared her K9s for another battle. The gang now surrounded her truck completely. Some held baseball bats, others had chains, and a few even had weapons. The leader sneered, "Game's over, lady. You got lucky before, but now we're gonna teach you a lesson." But Casey had one more trick up her sleeve. Reaching into her truck's hidden compartment, she grabbed a military-grade flashbang grenade, something she had kept from her service days. As the bikers drew closer, she tossed it onto the road. Boom! A blinding flash lit up the night. Disoriented, the bikers staggered. Tyson and Red seized the opportunity, launching a full-on attack. Tyson tackled. Casey honked her horn and slowly moved her truck forward, forcing the gang to scatter. One by one, the bikers either fell or fled into the night, knowing they had been outmatched once again. As the dust settled, Casey looked at her K9s and smiled. She knew this journey was about to get even more dangerous, but also more thrilling. "You guys saved my life again," she said, patting her loyal K9s, and with that, she drove off toward her next destination, knowing full well that the bikers' network wouldn't give up so easily.